Okay, so we're going to quickly talk about what we did last time, and in the end, if there are any doubts, right, regarding the assignments, we can pick that up. So last time, right, we saw the package Numpy. So in order to work with Numpy, we need to import it. Okay, so we import that. So if you see the star, right, that means the program is still running. And over here on the right hand side, I'm not sure if you noticed, it was still loading the environment kind of. That is why it is still running. Otherwise, it does not take that much long to execute the code. Still running. All right, there is something wrong over here. Try the new one. So you notice this kernel is starting, so it takes some time when you're running it for the first time. So now it is running. Yep, both have run. Okay, so we can use any. And we looked at how do you create an array, right? So if we have our first array, so the function is array. Okay, so if I check the type, it tells me it is an ND array of NumPy. So here I can create this as a, I can create it using a list or a tuple, right? So we can, instead of this, so for both of them I can even check the D type, that is the data type. So here both of them show it is integer. Okay, so we saw how to create a array. All right, you can create a two-dimensional array also in the same way. So if I print this, okay, I printed the wrong one. Okay, so I see this array. To check the shape, right, we have the command dot shape. Yeah, this is the shape of this particular array, 2 by 6. So this is 6 columns and 2 rows like that. Yeah, so we also looked at how we looked at specific functions in terms of how do you create an array of zeros. So here, right, if I want to create an array of zeros, so I created an array of zeros. Same way I can create an array of specific values. So for that we use full. So here I created 2 by 2 array with all values as 9. I can put any value if I want to. Okay. If I can actually join two arrays now using the H stack and the V stack. So if I use those columns, so if I have this ARR1, ARR2, let's see if both of them, we are able to join both of them. Okay, how is that? What am I doing wrong? 1 second. Not giving the bracket. Yes, so this is vertical stack, and if I can do H stack, so vertical stack sum these values like this, right? It does it that way. That's what it's supposed to do. It's rather not sum, it just puts the value one below the other. It's become like a 2 by 5 array. This has become a one dimensional array because it stacks the value horizontally next to it. Okay. You can convert these arrays into an integer or a Boolean value. So we had looked at, let's say if I have another array, an array like this, AS type, and I give it bool. So here, right, it took 1, converted into 2, 0, converted into false in that same way. So any value which is more than 0 is converted into true value, else it is false. Okay. Now you can even reshape an array. To reshape the array, we use the reshape command. All right. So here I have this array 3, right? I have this array 3, which is a 2 by 5 array. And if I give reshape, right? If I make this array 7 is equal to dot reshape, so I am able to convert that array. Right, so we also looked at how do we iterate a single dimension array or a 2-dimensional array for that matter. So if I have this array and I want to loop through it, right? So I write for I in ARR1 print I. So I'll be able to print all values on each line. If I have a 2-dimensional array, so your ARR3 is a 2-dimensional array. So if I want to, for I in ARR3, if I just print this way, right? I'm going to get just the 2 rows over here. So what do I have to do? I have to write a nested loop for I in ARR3 and for j in I print. We can write, if you want to really want to show both of them, right, you can print j comma I. So here it's telling you I 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 for both the rows. Since the value is the same, we won't see much of a difference, but yes, that is how we can print them using a for loop. Okay, so any question, guys? Were you guys able to try some of these assignments or no? Still trying?
So I have a question in day 3.
This one?
Day 3, sir. This is day 4. It was about creating your own function for first name, last name.
Huh. This? Hello?
Okay, I understood.
You're passing two values over here and you're printing them. So you can even take the input from the user and pass it actually. Okay. Any other questions? Question 16, day 5. Day 5? Day 5 is today. Day 3. Okay. Pass two sets to a function and check the following. Okay. So here I have, so normally what do you do, right? You write S1 is equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 5, comma 6. S2 is equal to 2, comma 3, comma 4. Right? This is my S1 and S2. So if I have to check if S set 1 is a subset of set 3 or no, right? So you do S1 dot is subset. This is what we do, right? S2. So it tells me false. So what we have to do is we have to do this in a function. So define check set S1 comma S2. Okay. If you can hear the crow. What is the other one? Difference between the two sets. And union. Okay, this is my function. And now if I pass the value, right, check set Oops. 1 comma S2. It's telling me S2 is a subset of S1. The difference is 1 comma 6 and the union is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Make sense? You know the functions. We are just passing it. You know these subset functions, right? We tried them earlier also. As of now, we are just passing those values to a function and checking them instead of just so here I can pass any other function, right? I can have a set instead of writing these commands again and again, right? I can have another set is equal to okay, and now if I pass this, right, check set s1 comma s3. Nothing is a subset. Yep, understood. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? Should we move ahead? Were you guys able to do this? Were you able to print this?
Yes.
All right, some of you said yes, some of you said no. Okay, so let's look at that once. Okay, so we want to, so you understood the question or no? How many of you understood the question? Who's PC? I'm not sure who's PC, by the way. Priyanka Chopra. Who's it? I don't. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's first try and understand the question. So the question is, I want to print this pattern. Okay, I want to print this pattern. I want to print this pattern. It has to be done dynamically. So let's first see how do you print that particular pattern, right? So we print a pattern for I in range 1 comma 5, 1 comma 5, right? Print star star I. Yeah, so if I print this, I get this pattern, right? I get a pattern like this. Now I want the below star also. I have got this upper star. Okay, I have got this value. Now I want to print the below one also. So in order to do that, I write another uh, for loop. Okay, this has to be right. This is how it is. Right, this is what we're doing. Now the ask is, I want to. So now tomorrow, right? This is for this I is equal to 4. Okay, 1 2 3 4. I am passing that value 4. Now I want to pass this value 3 and get this, right? So if I want to do this, right, if I want to print this other value, so what do? I will change this to, let's say if I change this to 4 and I change this to 2. So I get this. Yes, you see this, I get this print where I change this value and I change this value. I want to do it dynamically so that I don't have to copy this code and again and again. So I say define print pattern and I'm passing a value of x. Okay, and I copy this over here. This x will be x minus 1 or the x plus x minus 1, right? x plus 1. This is x minus 1. Okay, and I do this, and if I print pattern, let's try this, 3, so I get it this way. Now if I do print pattern 5, I get it this way. So here, right, I have made a function using which I don't need to write the code again and again. I can just print this pattern like this. Make sense? So we created a function which can do this for us instead of us sitting and writing the code again and again. Understood? How to do this? All right. Any other doubts? So like I said last time, right, I would suggest each of you create a folder over there on the Google Drive. I would request you to create a folder and put your assignments day wise. Okay, I will also put the assignments, the answers to the assignments over there, but first I would request you guys to put the answers over there. Understood? So you can have a Jupyter file for each of those days and just place it over there.
Sir, can you put that function in this chat box? So the x minus 1, yeah.
I mean, whatever value you want to give, you can give. You can even try the complete star like this. This is just one half of it, right? We can even have the left hand side printed using another for loop, by the way. But that I'll leave for another day.
Sir, first we have to define this print pattern.
Yes, you have to define the function.
So can you show me that scroll up? Yes. I can't find the print pattern where you defined it. It did showing me invalid syntax.
Can you share your screen? You might have not have put the indentation properly. The indentation has to be like this, right? Share your screen.
Just a second. Where is the sharing option? Sir, I'm not able to share option.
You see that option to share?
Yes, then I check doing this.
Can you take a screenshot and share?
Yeah. Done, sir.
Yeah, is the indentation correct? Jill, can you share your screen?
Sir, I shared you that pic, the screenshot.
Ah, no, Jill is also eating.
is missing.
So can you see?
No, it's black.
I know I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, but it's black to me at least.
Star was missing.
आपने किधर भेजा स्क्रीनशॉट?
Sir, in this message,
स्क्रीनशॉट भेजा कि आपने उसे कॉपी करके पेस्ट किया? अच्छा, अभी आया। वो स्टार किधर है? वो तो है। कोट्स के बीच में स्टार किधर है?
okay, okay, okay.
कैसे हो गया? स्टार से सब स्टार चले गए। तो आप देखो ना। So we don't see the star. This star is kind of gone when you copied it. यहाँ पे है ना? Notice this star is not there. The star over here also is not there. So that is why it's not recognizing what you've written.
So the function is not running in my.
Sorry?
रन ही नहीं हो रहा है सर.
Function is?
रन नहीं हो रहा है.
दिखाओ, भेजो स्क्रीनशॉट आप।
Print pattern you'll have to write again.
आपने इसे कोड रन किया क्या? You
Sir,
did this, right? You did this print pattern, no?
so okay, okay. So it's a function defined. Then I have to write something in it for the value of I.
हाँ, तो you have to write ना print pattern नीचे लिखो
Yeah.
ना अभी। Define हो गया, अभी रन करना है ना उसको, तो नीचे लिखो ना next line print pattern and the number.
Done, sir. Done. Done.
You have to call that function. It's like you
Yes.
defined your own in Excel. You have some if, so you have defined your own function to print this pattern. So you have to call it. ऐसा वो खुद से नहीं करेगा. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other doubt, guys? Or we can start with pandas. Okay, so you need to access the Google Drive link. There are two files over there, right? We'll be using those today. There are two files. We're going to learn how to read a file for that matter.
So one last thing I had.
Yeah.
In day 4, the first question, like how do you print all the values in an array?
Yeah, this.
हाँ.
So you want to create an array. This is my array of strings. For each string, print the length of the string. That is what the ask is, right? So I do for in arr print I, length of I. So I know the length of this string is 4, this string is 1, this is 8, this is 5, this is 4. Got it? That is the
Yeah.
ask.
Got it.
Alrighty. Anything else? Okay, so let's see what else. So let's come here. So like Numpy package is there, right? One of the other important packages which people use is Pandas. So first step, you have to write import Pandas as PD. Whatever that name might be, right? Whatever that name you want to reference. So this is what we do, import Pandas. So now I imported Pandas. So like Numpy, right? Pandas is also a widely used package. You can use, there are three types of variables, three types of yes, kind of data types which people use in Pandas. One is a array, again, one single dimensional array. Then you have a data frame. Okay, that is where you will come to know how we use a, how do we read a file and stuff, right? And there is another called as panel. We're not looking at that, but that's a three dimension. Most of the time people use is a data frame. Okay, almost everywhere you'll be using is a data frame for that matter. So the first step, and if you're using Anaconda, if you have used Anaconda, you might not have to install Pandas. It would already be present. So just try and see if you're able to import Pandas.
Done, sir.
All right, that was fast. So the first step we do is we create a one dimensional array. Okay, so this is the structure: Pandas series, data, index, dtype, and copy. So the first step, we'll create a variable pd1. Okay, and we're going to write pd dot series, and here again I'm going to give, I can define it this way, and if I check the type, it is a panda series. Everybody got this? So instead of this, right, I can also create a list like that. Okay, I can create a list like this, and I can create, I can pass this list to this. Okay, let's do it 2, not this. So when I print this, right, it tells me the values. If you notice, there is a difference in this. When I print this list, right, when I print this list, I see these values like this. When I print this, I see it vertically, not horizontally. And you also see this number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is called the index, that I can actually index this value and get that information. Right, so let's see if that works. So I get that 0. So if I do, so I get this value also, right? So this is the difference in terms of how you can actually see the index over here. Make sense? When you're printing the value, you get to see the index also. Can you, did you create this series?
Yes, sir.
Priyanka? Can you share your screen so I can see what you got?
So can you see?
Yeah, you don't have to. What you have done is you have given that list in a square bracket. You have to give a list in a square bracket.
Okay.
CD series, हाँ वो square bracket निकालो.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay, everybody got this? Okay. So as of now, right, we you can create this series using a tuple or with the list, right? So if I create a tuple, right, I can create it using a tuple also, same way, like I created a list. And an interesting thing which I saw, right, when I do like this in a tuple, right, I cannot update this value, but in this series when I have put the tuple, this value gets updated.
But sir, in a tuple, one you cannot change the values, right?
Yeah, you can't.
So then here you are updating the value
I'm
from
updating
1
the
to
value
9.
in Pandas series, not in tuple actually.
Okay.
Understood? Got it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's try and use a index. Okay. So here, right, we can equal to yeah. So here, right, when I gave it this way, I gave the list first and then I gave an index of n1, n2, n3. That this value is called n1, this value is called n2, this value is called n3. Anybody got this? How to use this index? You can give your own index instead of, if I'm not giving an index, right, if I just without this index, right, if I print it, it takes the value 0 1 2 automatically. Okay, now if I want to make this, so let's say I have taken this and there's a third parameter which I want to give. I want to give d type Go to float. Yeah, so it made it into a float value, float 64, because I forced it to take it as float. There is a fourth parameter called copy, but I have not been able to figure out how to really use it practically. It is a true or false value. I'm not sure how it really works. So once I get a better idea about it, I'll let you know. Everybody understood this? How to use this?
Yes, sir.
Now I can even use a dictionary. All right. So when I can use, or rather, first let's, before we do this, right? We saw how to uh, so if I print this, right, 0, I can still use that index of 0, because in the background it is still 0 1 2 3, 0 1 2, right? Instead of the 0, I can also use the index that I have given, that is n1, or for that matter n2. So here, right, I can use this index. Understood this? Everybody got this? Everybody understood how to index these values? Sorry. All right. I would suggest now you Let's create a dictionary and let's use that as a sorry. You see, when you use a dictionary, right, the index is automatically assigned. The name, right, is automatically assigned as the value. It gets automatically assigned as a dictionary, and the other is the value. Everybody tried this? Very good. And the second, the other item, right, is using a data frame. So here, right, you have only one column and the index over here. In a data frame, right, it's like a table. In Excel, like you see, right, that Excel is a very good example of how do you use a data frame for that matter. So now we're going to try and define our own data frame. Okay, so the way to do it is using this pd.dataframe. So let's see this. Okay, let's see what we do. You notice you get a column over here at the top, right? I just used the list which we had created earlier. So let's try and create a two-dimensional array using Numpy. Okay. So I'm going to create an array. We might have one, right? We had created one earlier. Let's say if I use this array of Numpy to create the data frame. You notice I have 2 rows and 5 columns. Now if I want to give these columns names, so that is where I use I can actually use index. First I will use index. So if I use this index, and now if I print this, I get this rows as n1, n2. Now along with this, I give the column, and I give c1, columns has to be an S. Whoa, what did I do? So now I have got the name for each of these columns as well. Understood? More up or this? Alright. So you understood, right? Now if I want to index this, right? Now I can index the column as well. So if I have this index, I've used C1. I want to get the value of C5. I can index that column as well. If I want to get N1, oh, I did not do that. This works. Okay, we'll figure that out. Ideally, it should work. Yep. So I can't index it this way. There's actually another way to index it, and we'll see that later. We'll actually see that in 10 minutes. So yes. So here the indexing is based on the column name. Okay. Here it is based on the column name. Yes. Most of the time they do. Yep. Most of the time you are supposed to use them together only. So understood this? How we are using, how we are creating a data frame and providing the index and column. So you can define a structure like this which is more readable. Understood, folks? Did you guys understand this? So here also I can check the type, right? Type of df2 and df2 dot dtype. Nope. Yeah, this doesn't work with this. Type works with that. Dtype, yes, I can use dtype over here rather, not in this. So I can actually force this to, like the earlier one, I can force it to be a float. So you see these values of this. Everybody got this? Did you guys get this? Any doubts till now? Everybody got this or no? Can you guys hear me? Alrighty. So for this, right, if I just do df2 dot sum and I print, I am going to get for each column what is the sum of those values. Or if I do df dot average, right? Average, yeah. Yeah, I can use mean, not average. I'll get that value. I can do df dot describe also. So when I do df.describe, right, I get for each column the mean, standard deviation, minimum, what is the 25% value, 50%, 75%, and the max value. I get a lot of information which is kind of very relevant when you're trying to analyze the data. And we look at this now when we read a file. Everybody tried these three? Sum, mean, describe. Individually you can even try standard deviation. So this is sum, this is mean, describe, and standard deviation. All right, so let's now read a file. I'm hoping you have all accessed the CSV file. There are two files, one is a CSV file and one is an Excel file which I have given for an assignment. We are going to use the CSV file. Okay. You might have seen this iris file. There's an iris file over there. Do you have that file or should I share it over here?
Share it.
Yeah. Let's see if I can share it. Hold on. You get it? So now we want to read that file, right? So there are two ways to do it. One is you need to place the file where this notebook file is present. Okay. So one way is to, let's say this, when we launched the, where was it? When you launch Jupyter for the first time, right? Okay, let me just copy this. It's not running. Okay. When you launch Jupyter for the first time, let's see if I can do this. Yeah. When you launch Jupyter for the first time, right? You see this window. You see a folder window in terms of where exactly is your data. Okay, so here I can upload that file from here. There is a button called upload over here. You can upload that file over here from the download, wherever you downloaded, right? Just upload that file over here. So what will happen is wherever you're writing this Python code, right, that file will be there in the same directory. Did you understand what I did? What I said rather? Click on file and click on open. When you click on open, right, it opens another window and you see this folder structure. In this folder structure, there is an upload button over here. Click on upload and upload that CSV file, that iris CSV file which is there. And you should see that file over here. So like this, I see this prostate cancer file. You should see the iris file over here. Yeah, iris.csv, I see it. Did you guys do that? Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping you see the iris file over here, right? You see the iris file over there. So once you have that, right, what we're going to do is we're going to write iris is equal to pd dot read underscore CSV. So you notice you will see You can read an Excel file, you can read a CSV file, you can read a JSON file also. So write pd dot read underscore CSV and the file name in quotes, double quotes, iris dot CSV. So now I have read my first CSV file. So here I see this. That entire data frame got printed over there. Can you try this? So here, right, I didn't have to give that path because it is there in the same folder. So if there is no path given, right, the file is going to be searched in the same folder for that matter. But if I wanted to give a specific path, so let's try that also. I can do that also. So when I give that path, right, I have to replace the backslash with the front slash, and I need to put two of them because otherwise it does not take that value because you will get an error. So whatever be that path, right, you can replace that with your path. But the easier way is to upload that file into the code folder and then use that. Can you show the folder? Can you try sharing your screen again, please? See if that works. Who was this? Or Vivek, can you share your screen? So the path, right? I copied the path wherever I have put this file. So I just take that path from here and paste it over there. read.csv में क्या डालेगा? कुछ तो डालो ना. फाइल नेम तो दो ऊपर read.csv के बाद लाइन 62. ये किसका स्क्रीन है? स्क्रीन किसका है? आपने अपलोड किया इधर फाइल? So Arpita, can you share what error you are getting?
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah. You're using the online version,
Yes, sir.
so you cannot use that path. So if it is online version, right? Did you upload the file over here?
Uh, Sir, I have it in my download section. I
No,
will
it will
try
not.
to.
This is online, so it's not going to be able to reference to your online to your download section. So you see below view, you see a folder symbol, right? Or a plus symbol. Can you click on one of them? Above, नीचे वो प्लस सिंबल दिख रहा है ना?
हाँ, yes
नहीं
sir.
नहीं, उसके बाजू वाला,
ये, yes sir.
प्लस के बाजू वाला, वो क्या है?
ये,
फोल्डर।
upload files.
हाँ, अपलोड फाइल पे क्लिक करो and
Okay sir.
upload that file,
Okay
the
sir.
iris file over here. फोल्डर नहीं, सिर्फ फाइल। फोल्डर निकालो, इसके बाजू वाला वो जो अपलोड वो अप
Sir
सिंबल
ये,
है ना,
yes sir.
iris.pdf।
हाँ, yes sir, PDF में है.
पीडीएफ क्यों चाहिए मुझे? सीएसवी है ना?
Yes sir. Sir, I'll try downloading it once again. PDF में download.
You have access to the Gmail drive, right? It's there over there. Everybody got PDF file क्या? Jheel, you got it or no? Were you guys able to read the file or no?
No, sir.
Can you share your try sharing your screen one by one?
Sir, I tried, but it's not getting shared like this.
Are you using an online Skype version?
Yes, sir.
Must be because of that.
Wait, sir. Then I try to switch on the application.
Priyanka, you got it? Can you share your screen? सिर्फ फोल्डर का नाम, फाइल नेम भी देना है ना उधर। C:\\, everywhere instead of a front slash, and then the file name is also supposed to be ना। अभी तक फोल्डर तक लेके आए तो क्या मिलेगा उसको? फोल्डर थोड़ी रीड करना है, फाइल रीड करना है ना आपको।
Yes.
तो फाइल का नाम किधर है? आइरिस के बाद क्या है?
CS.
हाँ, and it has to be in double quotes. Everything has to be in double quotes.
Intel also.
स्टार्टिंग से C:\, से, उधर से नहीं, उधर से क्या? अरे ऐसे क्या कर रहे हो? Now print iris.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
All right. Anybody else who wants to try? Jheel, you got that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Right. Should I move forward? Bharat, Vivek, you got it?
Sir, I'm getting the same error.
Can you try sharing your screen now?
Sir, it's not getting shared. I tried to
Screenshot.
join by that application.
Screenshot भेजो screenshot.
Sir, I did send you the screenshot.
No, I need to see the ये ऑनलाइन है ना ऑनलाइन वर्जन है ना आपका ये आपका लैपटॉप वाला है
So Python.
हाँ ये where is this
So this is this installed version, not online.
okay go to file and open and show me that folder I need a screenshot of that
Okay. Okay.
file and open and over there do you see iris.csv let
Yes,
me
sir, I can see, but I'll still give you that.
which is your python file hello
Sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
where is your python file which is the python file that you are created now
That I created now as an
जो आप यूज कर रहे हो ना अभी वो फाइल किधर है
sir. वो I mean,
इसमें दिख रहा है क्या आपको
sir, Iris is there, na?
आइरिस
Iris.cv.
नहीं आपका अभी जो पाइथन का फाइल है जुपिटर वाला वो दिख रहा है क्या आपको
हाँ सर, देख ये इसमें ही है मेरा क्या बोलते हैं
नहीं कौन सा है नाम बताओ ना इधर
सर पाइथन फाइल का नाम आई मीन जो मैं यूज़ कर रहा हूँ.
अभी जो आपको ये दिख रहा है ना पाइथन डे 3 डे 2 व्हाट इज
हाँ
द
हाँ
नेम ऑफ द करंट फाइल
सर डे 3.
ओके ideally you shouldn't be getting an error oh,
So should I import that again, pandas?
right okay who's that all right even though it was a nice song but thank you okay so you should not be getting that error ideally try it again once Everybody else? Vivek, what error are you getting? Can you share your screen?
So I have started to share.
ओके अरे तुमने लिखा कि तो विवेक, ये तो विवेक का है ना, तुम्हारा है ना विवेक, ये स्क्रीन किसका है?
Yeah, this is not mine.
सो विवेक यू नीड टू राइट pd.read_csv, उसमें ब्रैकेट में फाइल का नाम तो लिखो.
Sir, I used the new window and in that it worked.
Okay. Can you try that now before? This is what you're supposed to write. You're not given the file name, how will it know what to read? Okay, everybody got it, I assume. So you have to give the file name, all right? Without that, it's not going to understand what you're supposed to read. So here, right, we have given the file name iris.csv, and we have got this iris value. So if I check this, right, if I check the type of iris, see, it automatically takes that value as a data frame, and you can notice that here you have the column names and you have the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Now for this, if I type iris, okay, sorry, my bad, give me a minute. Can you see it now? Yeah, can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so here, right, when you see iris, right, and if I type, use the type function for iris, right, I see it as a data frame. It is a data frame for that matter. And if I type iris dot, and in this also, right, you can notice when you print iris, you see the column names at the top and the index on the left. You see that value. So if I do iris dot describe, spelling, I can see what is the count for each of these values, what is the mean of each of these values, what is the standard deviation, minimum, all that information I can see in this one command. Okay, and I can even do iris dot sum, right? So I can see the sum of all those values also. So for this value where there is a, for this value where there is text, right, it does a concatenation of the string. It does a string concatenation. Understood? Now, see, now when I printed this value, right, I get the entire data. So there are functions over here like iris dot head. So if I do this, right, I get only the first 5 values. If I make this 9, I'll get the first 9 values. If I don't pass anything, right, I'm going to get the first 5 values. In the same way, I have iris dot tail also, which gives me the output at the bottom. The last 5 values. These are the first 5 values. Understood? Iris dot head, iris dot tail. So if there is nothing passed, it's going to take just 5 values. If I give a value like this, it is going to print those many values from the bottom. Okay. So this is very useful to understand. Instead of looking at the entire data, right, I can use this function to just print a specific rows of the data. You want to print values from 10 to 15, or you want to print 10 or 15 values? You want to give something like 10 is to 15 like this, it will not work. If you want to give 15, it will work. No, there is a different function for that. We'll come to that. So here, right, you have tail and head. Okay. So for the function which you want, right, you want only specific row. So I have to use the function ilog. So I have iris dot ilog. If I give 0 is to 5, I am printing the values from 0 to 4. Make sense? So in order, you ask the question, right, I want to print rows from 10 to 15, right? So for that I need to use the data frame dot ilog. Okay, ilog is a function. So here if I give 10 is to 15, I will get only those rows from 10 to 15 with all the columns, obviously. So this is what I can use with ilog. Understood this? So now if I want to print specific columns also, right, I give this 10 is to 15 and I give 0 is to 2. So I get just the first 2 columns. So I can choose the column and the rows that I want to print. So here I get only one value. Okay, sepal length for the 10th row. Understood? So like you have iloc, right? You also have loc. So I can do the same thing using loc. So here also I get this. The difference, I have to give the column names actually over here. So if I give here, I can use loc in the same way. Instead of the column name, I'm giving the number, I'm giving the name over here. So when I give it this way, it doesn't work. I can probably do it this way. Nope, I need to give the name. So this will not work. Everybody got this? We are almost over here. So now, right, what we need to do is I want to extract data for specific functions, okay, specific condition for that matter. So if I want to look at only data for which the sepal length is greater than a particular value, sepal dot length greater than pi. So I am getting, this is true or false. Okay, I am getting this value as true or false over here, but I want to print that value. Okay, so in order to print that value, I write this within this function iris, within that data frame iris. When I do that, right, I am getting all those values wherein the sepal length is greater than 5. And if I say sepal length greater than 7, it might be easier like this. Okay, I am getting all the values where sepal length is greater than 7. So this is what we did for the first two. Now in this, I also want to, this is all virgin is here, right? So if I make this 5 again, so you see versicolor setosa. Yeah, so let's say if I want this one only, I want to print only these ones where the length is greater than 5 and the variety is versicolor. Okay, so here I need to use the ampersand symbol. But before I do that, let me know if you have tried this one. Have you been able to try this one? Have you been guys have been able to try this one? Did you get this output?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's so here right now we want to add another condition in this. Okay. So in order to add another condition, we have to write it in this bracket itself, this square bracket. But we need to segregate this value into these round brackets, and over here we write an ampersand symbol. Open close this round bracket, and here I write iris, and we write variety, right? The word is variety. Variety equal to the spelling is versicolor. Now I am getting all values of versicolor. So like this, right? You can also try for the other ones which I mentioned over here. You can add more conditions over here. Okay. So here I can add where this length is. So here, right? If I want to further segregate this, right? I have used sepal length and versicolor, right? Within this, I want to further go down. I can choose that petal length is greater than 4.5. Okay. So if I choose petal length greater than 4.5, I can add another condition over here. So here I am getting all those values where the petal length is greater than 4.5. Understood? Like this, right? I can add lot many other conditions if I want to. Got it till now? Anybody tried this?
Done, sir.
Okay. Now, before we close, right, there's just one thing which I wanted to show, which was looping. There are multiple ways of looping. So we'll see that in detail next time. And next time we're also going to see how to uh, print graphs Okay, bar graph, line chart, and all that kind of stuff. You're going to see that next time. So before we close, I just wanted to show you for looping, right? In pandas, so we can do for I in iris dot, so here, right, iter tuples print. If I say I, yeah, I have to put a bracket over here. So I get this value, I get that printed output. And there are better ways of looping it. I just see this print index 0, right? So if I say print I dot index, it is going to printing only the index. I dot underscore 1, it is printing only the first column. So let's just see with I, right? I am getting all these values, I, 2, 3, 4, variety. And if I just print variety, I will get all the varieties which are there for each of those rows. Iter tuples is a function to iterate uh, your data frame. Like there are actually three functions. I don't want to confuse you. This was the simplest to explain because this is what we've kind of seen, for I in a particular range. So here it's just using a function iris.iter-tuples. So if I just print this, right, let's see what happens. It's a entire map of this particular iris. This is the easiest of the loops that I could see to explain. The others are pretty a little bit complicated, but like I said, we'll look at that next time. All right, got this. I'm gonna try this. So like I said, I can do it underscore 3. I'll get the value of the third column. I can even do it this way. Okay, I can even write a if statement over here. If I dot 3 greater than 1.9 or 8, then I print that value. Yeah. And let's say make it 4.8, so I get less values to print. Yeah, this is more visible. So I have taken that the third column, right, whatever it was there, if the value is greater than 6, I print only those values. Okay, does that make sense? All right, folks, any doubts? कोई विशेष टिप्पणी? The crow is also saying your time is up, so anything from anybody? Are we clear on whatever we've done? We've done quite a lot of things in the last 5 days, 5 sessions rather. There's quite a lot of stuff. So like I said, right, I would request you to add a in this. Just check if you have access to this or not. If you not, just let me know. I will get you access. I want you all to create a folder in uh, this assignment tab, assignment folder rather. This assignment submissions. I need you to create a. One second. This is taking time. How do you download your assignment from Jupyter? If you go to the folder, right, where it is saved, you will see that assignment. So if I go to uh, it's still in Jupyter is just an interface. It's still showing you the same your my computer only. One second. This PC. One second. It's just taking a long time. So here, right, in this folder, I see this ipynb.ipynb file. That is my Jupyter file. Okay, that is the file you need to place once you do your assignment. So in your computer also, right, you will find it over here in C:\users and whatever your computer name, in that folder you will find it. Right. Anything else, guys? Okay, if nothing else, if you need anything, let me know. Just message me and I'll check how I can help you. Bye bye.